Ah, what a disaster. I was so focused on redoing those engines just before, and then all of a sudden, kaboom! I literally didn't see it coming. I should have. I should have been paying more attention to where I was heading, but here we are. ADD strikes again. Whoa, what's going on with that? I hope we're not bugging out. This doesn't look like a very promising start to this at all. No, Windows is failing me. The amount of money I've given to Windows over the years, you'd think, well, maybe we could just let something work. But here we are, Struggle Town with no, we're going to load and we're going to wait and yep, I think it might be restart time. Let's have a look. Just doing some see what the hell's going on things in the background. And we can't see anything because as great as Task Manager is, it is not quite the same as it used to be. Close the program. What an unfortunate turn of events. Let's reload it. That is not the world's greatest start to a stream. It's probably not the worst there's ever been, but it's definitely not a good one. But here we are. May as well keep plugging away at it. So yeah, in case you haven't watched the end of the last stream, I yeeted myself into an asteroid and took out the front half of the ship. It's a good thing that I had put on all of those refineries on the front. There we go, we've got it loaded up. And we'll continue our last game. Yeah, we just had it sitting there cruising in the general direction of the Earth-like world. And yeah, I should have been paying a bit closer attention as to what was coming right for me. And a slight course correction would have prevented a lot of effort right now. Maybe it might be worth, well, we can't really stick it on autopilot because we don't have a destination to send it to. So that's also a little bit of an unfortunate reality that we have to deal with there. So what to do? I think I'll turn the music up a little bit. Yep, there we go. A little bit more music. Now we'll try and continue. There we go. So the state of the ship now. If you'd seen it before in all its glory prior to the disaster, we are a far cry from that. We've lost 4 of our hydrogen tanks. We've still got some damage here. We managed to keep our assembler, although that did require repairing. We got all of the hydrogen engines repaired. We didn't lose all the batteries. We only lost some of them. We never put those two in, so we might actually chuck them in now. But yeah, we lost all of our ice, all of our ores, everything that was in the containers on the front. We managed to keep this container, but it did require repairing. Our survival kit was badly damaged and we had lost the cryopod. So it's lucky I was working over here when we yeeted into the asteroid and I didn't actually die, because we would have lost the whole ship then. We would have had no respawn to come back to. So I think that this survival kit is, well, I think we might leave that, and maybe protect it a little better, and put in a secondary, because if I've done it once, I'm definitely going to do it again. Hey, we've still got some scrap floating around. Do we have any other stuff floating around? I think I did manage to find the crater that I ended up in. Oh, maybe not. But we do have some ice here. So that's why I parked up at this particular spot. We've got ice. So we're going to rig this ship up to do some drilling. Oh, we lost a lot of the thrusters on that side. We managed to, oh no, we lost one there as well. So that's, yeah, it was a catastrophic failure of attention there. So how's this one look? We're not completely dead. Can we pull parts out? Build planner is empty. Why won't it let me? We're glitching out again. We'll just grab some steel plate. Chuck this in. Alright. So yeah, we're going to be rebuilding a lot of stuff on the ship. We're doing a lot of repairs and I think building with a little bit more intention. Okay, we got all that stuff in build planner. We put it on production, dump everything and load up on parts. We still need construction components there. That's all right. That one's all good. This one down here, where the lightning's escaping from it. All these angry pixies are getting out trying to eat me. There we go. We're all good now. Okay, so we've repaired that. Let's just go through and systematically repair all the annihilated parts. I think that'll be a good first step. And yep, fixed up our power cells. And yeah, we've got a bit of a tedious grind ahead of us now on account of having killed everything. Okay, we've probably collected a whole boatload of scrap. Yep. There we go. Get the last couple of batteries up and going. And what we'll do, first off, we'll leave the thruster configuration the way it is, but we will chuck another cargo container. We'll just chuck the cargo container straight on the front of that. Did we finish fixing that? No, we didn't. Let's do that. Alright. Oh, and the other thing that was quite miraculous was that our cockpit seat here didn't get destroyed, and nor did this cargo container. And thankfully, we still had our basic assembler at least, and we had our basic refinery here. So that really saved us, having those there. I was going to remove them earlier on, but had a moment of slackness, and that turned out to be a saving grace in a lot of respects. In fact, what we might do is perhaps further on the back here, I'll put another assembler a little further back, so we've got sort of like a safety net. I'll take out this elbow piece, I'll put a small container in here and just chuck on the other assembler over here, because we are going to need a lot of parts made up now. We will need to put the refineries back on. In fact, let's do the container first. So we've just got an extra container and we'll stick our refineries on the front again. It was pretty tragic that they got annihilated, because there goes all of our our ores. We lost all of the materials that we had collected up. So we're not back at square one. We still have a fair bit of stuff. Like, we still got a boatload of iron. We got a boatload of silicon. We've still got our silver, which was very fortunate, because once I'd repaired the survival kit, or to repair the survival kit, I needed to be able to make the medical components. If we had lost the silver, we would have been right up the creek, paddle jammed fair up where the sun doesn't shine. We would have been having a nightmare of a time. So things are, major setback, don't get me wrong. I would rather have not annihilated my ship like that. But by the same token, we are not in the worst shape we could be in. We're going to be stuck here for a little while. But we are not permanently stuck anywhere at a brand new spawn point. Now that would have been a tragic situation. We are not back on Pertram. Not that I would really want to start back on Pertram. It depends on how masochistic I really want to feel. But what we do have, which would help us significantly if we did start back on Pertram and really try again from scratch, is I've got all the GPS coordinates on Pertram still. So worst comes to worst, we could do it. It will take a fair amount of time. But we would be in a... We actually had 2 ice spots there on Pertram, so... Okay, we're not making metal grids. Why are we not doing that? Let's have a look at our production. We're not making anything that is not brilliant. Now, we are on... we're silicon, stuffed full of silicon again. We don't want to have all of one thing in our damn inventory up here. I don't know why it does that. It frustrates the crap out of me. Anyway, let's rearrange our production, because those metal grids are slowing us down right now. Don't like being slowed down, even though it's my own fault in circumstances like this. Take the good with the bad. Alright, we got metal grids coming. Okay, all components successfully withdrawn. We have another container up. Excellent. Now, let's get the big refineries going. So, where do we put those? Number 5. Yep, suit energy's low. Sitting here doing too much talking and not enough actually making stuff do stuff. So we'll just bang the 4 we'll bang out 4 refineries initially, and then stick our piston with drills on the front. Actually, we'll have enough material to be able to do that. We've got plenty of ingots, so make sure we've got it the right way around. I did like the length of the ship previously, so we'll replicate that, and we'll it could have been much, much worse. Okay, we got everything for the first one. Excellent. Now, the way I figure it is there's no point in mining stuff unless A, we've got somewhere to put it, so another cargo container, and B, no way to process it. Now, we lost a lot of cargo space just now. That was quite horrifying in a lot of respects. But, you know, this is supposed to be a demonstrational type thing, so, you know, not all has to be lost. We managed to go through and get our base in a safe enough kind of situation where we could log off for a little while, take a break, like, because I needed a break at the time, but we weren't going to, the base ship wasn't going to collapse. So that's right, the double click thing, don't have to hold it, you can just turn the welder on, leave it on. I should probably take advantage of this a little more, especially when I've got to sit here welding something for a time. There we go, that's 2, we want 4, so we've got 3 so far. Now the first thing we want to accumulate is ice. I parked where I did because we have got ice here. Okay, why are we not getting steel plate? We've got stacks on production. Let's crank it up. Let's have a look in our inventory. Because we did have, we've got an enormous amount of steel plate. Why is it not letting us take it out? Oh, I wish I hadn't done that. There we go. Okay, steel tubes. We'll push them forward a little bit. And we'll get a couple more of these. Push them up in front because we want another refinery on the front. We're going to have 8 refineries on the front of this thing. Because it turned out that was a pretty good buffer for like preventing the back half of the ship getting annihilated. So I think we might put our bridge up the back. I can definitely see merit in that way of going about things. Cannot withdraw. There we go. Okay, we got our third one up. We'll also have a look and see if we can. That is getting quite long, but that's fine. We'll stick the 4th one on, and then we'll stick our drill rig on the front. Okay, we should have steel plates, as we've easily got enough steel plates to finish building this. Metal grids, we probably don't have enough of those, so chuck a bunch of those up front of the queue. We're also going to need all the stuff for the drills, so let's go to the production here. We'll just queue them up here so they're ready to go for us. We'll do enough for 10 drills, just to save us the headache. Steel plate is not super necessary. It's not the most essential item. It's everything else like, because we did have a good store of steel plates. Can we get, yep, there we go. We've got everything. The next thing, like, we'll mine a chunk of the ice here. Then the next thing we'll look at doing is rebuilding the hydrogen tanks. After we've mined a little bit, you just got to be a little bit careful because I only put small thrusters on. I wanted to do that quickly, like to quickly try and get thrust in every direction. So just chuck the small ones on there, but we'll be able to put the big ones back on. I'm not worried about whether or not we're going to be able to fully rebuild this. The biggest unfortunate thing is all the thrusters that we went and replaced with the small ones, which was the whole point and why we weren't paying attention in the first place, got destroyed. Oh, except for one. Oh no, that's a small one. So yeah, that's really stupid of me. You know, if I was going to destroy something, I could have destroyed the side that I wasn't reworking. But anyway, okay, so yeah, stick a drill on. We're running out of power again. Really hitting the power wall here. Now, like I said, it was tragic, but proved not to be the end of the world. In fact, what we may even do, because we want to redo all those engines anyway with the smaller profile ones, the vanilla engines. What we might do is just shift all of those tanks out an extra so they're a little further away. I think it'll make it look a bit cooler. Also give a little bit more room for some cargo, like cargo containers in the middle there. So you can chuck 2 cargo containers. Is this tank empty? Let's have a look. Nope. Got a fair amount of fuel in it. But yeah, so we'll take off that tank and we'll take off those engines and then do our row of 4 up there. And it'll give us a little bit more fuel capacity. We'll do the same on the, obviously do the same on that side. And yeah, give it a little bit of a wider stance. So in fact, what I'll do now is I'll select one of the other tanks. I'll stick it on, hang on, which tank is this one? So that's tank 9. If we go to tank 8, stick that on stockpile and just fill it up completely. And also, well, if that one gets full, then we'll also chuck another. No, see, we're not full. This one now is 100% empty, as are all the other ones. So we can grind this one down without losing all of that fuel. We are really low on fuel, so yeah. We'll grind this down first, then pick the ice up, because I don't really want to fill up all of the hydrogen tanks and then have to sit there and try and figure out what am I going to do with all of the fuel, because it takes forever for it to get made up. Okay, now we'll stick on the drills. We'll still go for the piston. Chuck the piston on. Of course, we need steel plate. We're always running around without it. It's the thing that we seem to most commonly need. And I can't get to the port. That's not ideal. Anyway. Alright. Then we'll stick on our 5 drills. Yet again. It's the first reattaching of the drills for this stream. How many times did we do it last time? I didn't want to do it again on the last stream, so I thought, yeah, nah, we can survive until the next login. I am not reattaching the drills in that stream. It had happened too many times. It's a personal grudge with my own incompetence there. See if we can get the rest. We're still a little bit short. Alright. Easier street. It's definitely not easy street by any stretch of the imagination with how we've been going about doing things, that's for sure. It's like, yep, we get going, everything's looking good, then boom, I do something dopey. At first it was like smash a wheel off because we're going faster than we thought. This time, not paying attention and annihilate half of the base ship. It's like, oh, that was extremely bad. I think I went through the 5 stages of grief in a millisecond. Because I already knew what was happening while it was happening. Done it before, knew I'd do it again, and I'd even, with a little bit of foreshadowing, said, yep, we need to keep an eye on making sure that we don't fly into something like an asteroid. We do need to keep an eye on it, and I got all wrapped up in trying to redo the engines and failed miserably. But goes to show, doesn't matter how many hours you spend this game, you can still botch it up. And if you are not completely dead, we're on stockpile. So let's turn off stockpile. Not batteries, we want hydrogen tanks. There we go. Cycle them through. Engines are up and running. And away we go. We have no camera on the front, so let's do something about that because we need it. I think we put an ore detector on, but I think we'll move it. We'll put it up the front, put it up near the drills, and we will put the ore detector on like we did before, mount it in a way that will make it so that we can mount the camera to it. So yep. And now we want camera. See, it's always on the side every time. It's sideways. It's like, why the hell would you want to mount the camera sideways? It's like you were being made to think carefully about it before you did it. I don't like thinking carefully. Thinking is the leading source of procrastination. That's why I try not to do it. Anyway. Okay, we've got our camera. Now, we've got everything that we need. Just assign that to our toolbar. There, view, okay. And what the hell happened there? that was probably the dumbest thing I've done. Put the piston back on the end. I think this drill might be too long. The piston didn't go. I pressed reverse. Okay, add piston head. Weld. Actually, we're going to... Our drills are floating away yet again. Maximum blocks exceeded. Typical. Bugger it. We're going to blink them out of existence because info, large grid, that 5 blocks, bye-bye. Yep. Now you want to be careful that you don't do that with your ship. That's why, double checked it just then, because then we literally would be back to, we may as well just wipe everything, start again on the ground somewhere, or in a space pod, or some other random respawn point, because everything there that we're going to try to rebuild from will be gone. Okay, enough ranting. Let's get back to making this work. Alright, let's just check our build planner. Yeah, we don't have anything extra on there that we're not aware of. Filling up our character inventory. Let's see if we can actually use the drills at least once before we annihilate them like we just did. That's something else, because we put all those gyros on before. Yeah, we are very, very twitchy. And we seem to be glitching out again when we try to get all of the components that we want. Again, I have to click several times to get all of the components out. I don't know why it is doing that. It is definitely throwing me off a little bit, because I know we've got a shitload of steel plate, and it makes me think, oh, maybe we've run out of steel plate, when really, like, we've got a mountain of it. And that's weird, it's still coming up saying it needs more stuff, and yet it's finished. So check that, and now that one's come up good. Alright, so alright, our camera's good, that's all good. Try not to overdo it with the gyros. In fact, let's turn those gyros down, they are way too effective. Yeah, we're definitely going to be turning those down. So we go into the K menu. We have got a lot of gyroscopes for something that weighs bugger all now. So let's just turn that power right down to 40. We're still way overpowered. So select them all again. And we'll try half that again. Actually, we'll go down to 15%. Now we've got a much more moderate speed. So we are very long. So yeah, need to be a little mindful of that. And we also have a lot of forward thrust. So, and we don't have much backwards thrust. So eek. Hit that a little. more assertively than we should have. Something else that we should do is, where's our piston? Oh, go into the G menu and assign our piston somewhere. Let's put it on number 5 or reverse it. So that way we've got our piston a little further away from our refinery, so if we do something very coastal-like, we are not going to destroy the vehicle or the expensive parts of the vehicle. Now, there was not very much ice here at all. Oh, fucking really? Oh. You have got to be joking. Why? I feel like I'm being punished right now. What's worse is I did it to myself. So, what am I doing? I want to drill. Okay, we're still going to have to go and look for more ice as well. We're going to expend all of our resources on bloody drills at the rate that I'm going. Stupidity, that's what it is. Carelessness. Well, I don't know if I've actually died yet. So, I can't be that dumb. But, by the same token, we keep making a lot of the same mistakes. Drill. Chuck another drill on. Grinder. Now I could sit there and try the hard way with the whole merge block bit, but that ain't gonna happen. That never ends well. I'm not going to try and reattach the drills that way and try and catch them or something else dopey. So yes, I know it can be done, but should it be done? Where's the other damn drill gone? There it is. Alright. It literally is, I've found, easier just to do this, even though it sucks. It still is much easier than trying to reattach a drill head with only 5 drills on it. If they're, like, I have done builds where I've had an enormous amount of drills attached, and that is a very time consuming process to move a large amount of drills by hand. It is far more economical. Why am I stuck? Because we got that tiny little backwards thruster. And the reason why we're having a little bit of grief here is I think we've made ourselves a little bit too long. Actually, I think we've made ourselves a lot too long. How much ice have I actually got? Did I pick up from that little bit there? Probably bugger all of nothing. I saw 1.9. Hang on. Let's do it the easy way. 1.65 tons. Alright. So yeah, we need a lot more ice. But yeah, having those tiny little thrusters may have been fine. Oh, there we go. We got some ice. Oh yeah, the ore detector. I need to pump that up. So we'll do that now. So I was thinking, geez, that dropped off real quick. There we go. Now we can see another big chunk of ice, which we can't get to. There it is. And slow down, please. Oh, it's inside that hole over there. Okay, I think we went overboard with turning the gyros down. So we'll go up to 25 because we are taking a long time to turn now. A lot longer than what would be smart. The other thing that I think we might do is just collect up a shitload of stone. I hope that's not the same spot that we were at before. No. But it's not easily accessible from this side. Great. Definitely missing having effective thrusters in all directions. Okay, let's just force straight through this. So push this out. No, that was on 5, wasn't it? Yep. There we go. We'll try to get at it from this side. What do we got? We're not getting at it from this side. A man can dream. And this dream is fast turning into a little bit of a nightmare. But, you know, it's a nightmare of our own choosing. Oh no, we managed to get to the ice. How good is that? I think, yep. Oh, look at that. What an awesome stroke of genius that was. I'm just gonna plunge right into it rather than try to maneuver my way down that. Okay, I don't know what the hell is going on with these damn freaking drills. But I'm not drilling anymore for a bit. We picked up some ice, and that's all we're picking up for now. Because bugger it. And I'm going to smite these drills. I don't want anything more to do with those particular ones. Yes, I wanted to delete those. Oh, that was so annoying. Okay, so engines off. We're parking up here. We've got a good supply of ice in there if we want it, when we can actually work up the mental fortitude to go and get it again. We got 25 tons of ice there, and all our ice is full. Also, we got some stone which we're processing now, so at least we got one plunge with the freaking drills before they decided to cark it again. Now let's just fix the damn ship. Okay, so we're gonna knock this one off. We'll start with this side, make it how we want it to be. So, wanted to come out another hydrogen tank. Okay, that's not it, that's not it, that's not it either. There we go. Okay, no steel plate. Okay, so one, and now we chuck our two outside ones on, and we'll go out, or like we did before. I think that's going to look pretty mad like that once we skin it a little bit. We might even move these engines out as well. There is no practical good reason for doing this other than I think it looks cool. In fact, we could even go in the opposite direction and go more Star Trek inspired. But at the same time, this has got sort of like a almost Star Trek sort of feel to it, but like a giant scale. Star Wars. Yeah, I think I can live. But that being said, if we go backwards, we don't have to worry about hitting stuff, and it seems to be rotating in a particularly weird way on the front. So yeah, let's go backwards. If you have to second guess yourself, there's more often than not a reason for it. Let's go like that. Let's go one more, just in case we want extra down thrust on the outside there like that. Okay. I think that we're going to be good like that. So, add 5 of them to the build planner. Actually, we want 6. And we'll put them all to production. Alright, now we'll still build one at a time though, so we'll take all those off the build planner and we'll just do one at a time. Try and be reasonable here. We'll try and get this knocked out quickly. Next one done. We'll chuck the cargo containers on next. We don't have to super hurry with the engines because I don't feel like mining right now, or more to the point, destroying drills again. Okay, we're out of steel tubes, so go to the production, bump them forward a bit. We are going to go through a lot of large steel tubes, and like they're the things that slow us down a lot. So there's the next one done. Yep. Now, yeah, we probably should have 2 cargo containers there with sort of a backup plan with how to join it up, just in case something happens, because I seem to be prone to that at the moment. But we could always stick them behind. They don't line up too good. That's a bit of a... yeah, doesn't matter. We will survive, most likely. I mean, I've survived a lot of crazier things in real life as well as this game. Okay, one more to go, and we'll place our engines, and we'll chop up the other ones on the other side. I think we might chop the ones up on the other side first. We won't go for all the downward thrust engines because we don't need all of them in space, but we will need them later. Like if we want to go for a planetary landing, we will definitely need plenty of downward thrust. So, and it's always nice to have a lot of headroom as far as that goes. We're out of large steel tubes again, so we'll move them back up. There we go, got it going. But yeah, we got to pull the thrusters off the other side if we want to make it symmetrical. So, like that one there will leave those, leave the inside one. In fact, we'll leave both of those, but we'll take the bottom ones here off. We don't have any front thruster on there, so. And we'll just grind them off, chuck them in the into the conveyor system, and we'll just pull them out of the conveyor system when we go to weld them up on the other side. Just because, yeah, flying them over to the other side just to weld them up, it's easier just to do it this way, I think. I mean, it's easier not to annihilate your whole damn ship, but, you know, I was born special. It comes with the good and it comes with the bad. We've just seen the bad. Annihilate ship, as well as we just repeatedly keep destroying drills. So I think we're going to have to change our approach to mining as well. Because what we're doing is not working. We are repeatedly, like Einstein had a very good quote, at least it was attributed to him. It's like the definition of madness, or stupidity I guess, is to repeatedly do the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I tried turning down the gyros, I tried going a little bit slower, tried a few different things, changing variables, and obviously we were going to fail and we are dying. Let's try to not do that. We'll get to our survival kit, hopefully. Yep. Not paying attention to the condition of my suit. Oh, jeez. Struggle Town. Alright. And we drop some parts. We want to keep those. We also want to keep all of those. Chuck them in there. We've thrown enough parts away so far. Even though we did voluntarily just delete the drills. That was spite, not sense. Because stuff those drills, I didn't want them anyway. Oh, come on. There we go. I'll feel a lot better once we're flying around again under a decent amount of power. I just feel really dark, like at myself. Because it was silly. It's like we were cruising along on Easy Street. Quite literally, we had everything sussed out good. We had stacks of everything we wanted. Now what might even be worth doing is going back to the gold spot, which is ages away. Don't have... Well, we do have some silver ingots, but we don't have anything near what we had. Yeah, definitely gonna go and hit that gold spot back up, I think. I thought I said we were gonna keep these, but we want to swap them out for the other sized ones anyway. I'll leave those on there, at least it's symmetrical. Give it that. And we dropped more parts. Alright. Now, where are we at? I want to leave that one there because I think that one will work well there. Got 1, 2. We'll take off. Do I want to take that one off? No. I want to leave that one on. Yeah. Now we could have left the front. Oh, no, we couldn't. We didn't have it. That was a bit of a weird circular self-conversation. Anyway, okay, grab some more steel plate. There we go. Chuck on a couple of these. How far out did we go? I think we had 5 on that side total, so chuck on one more. Keep it balanced from side to side. We are super wide. Is that 5 all up? Yep. Cool. Okay, so add those to the build planner as well. Sorry, production queue. And then we'll clear them off and we'll build one at a time. Otherwise, we will end up trying to pull bits for another tank and not be able to finish this one, and end up getting irritated at it, because that's what I do. I get annoyed with inanimate objects because of my own stupidity. Alright, so hey, I'm aware of the problem. I do what I can about it. There we go. Kinda had to force it there right at the end. Okay, last one for now. Yeah, we got everything. Okay, that's awesome. Now we'll chuck our retro thrusters, I suppose, our backwards thrusters on the front. Don't know how keen I am about having that smack bang in the middle, but we can make something work with that. We'll just chuck the other one on there in the same way, symmetrically, later. But yeah, I think we'll just go with two, like one down on each side, one up on each side. We'll chuck two sideways, and then we'll have two in every direction, because we're going to be spending most of our time in space. We are expecting to be quite massive again, so we will make sure that we have enough potential to push us. Oh, why did that do that? Move it at the last second. Okay, we'll stick a couple of downs. This doesn't really matter where we put the downs here. We're just going to put them further back, so we're a long way away from anything that we're going to potentially hit, because if we can hit it, we will hit it. We'll place them all, then we'll turn them all off. I've already got our backwards ones on the middle there, but okay, so we're going to have 4 forwards. But we'll have 2 in every other direction. So we'll stick the other one, where was it? It was on the outside bit here, I think. Was that right? Yep. We were on the very outside. Okay. Again, symmetry does not matter from a realistic point of view in this game. It is purely aesthetic. Alright. Now, we need to... How many we need? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, I think. So let's just... We'll do this from the actual production tab, because that'll just work out easier. And Windows randomize on the music is terrible. I think I'm going to just change that to turn off randomize. Shuffle is off. What the? I thought I had a lot more songs than that. There we go, shuffle's off. And let's skip to the next song. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to add some music. Anyway. Try and have it run through the whole stream without having a song repeat. Take a little bit of time to work out all the free stuff YouTube provides for that, so I don't get hit with somebody else gets your money for the shit you do. Anyway, thrusters. Not that I'm getting money at the moment for this. It'd be nice. Ah, there we go. Go on. 12 of those. So stick that on the build planner and we will start assembling it. There we go. Got one done. Oh, actually, what did I say? I said we're going to turn all these things off first. So all the actually, if we H2 thrusters, actually we're just going to reselect all of them because it's easier. And also those two. We'll chuck them on to add that and off. Okay, now we can weld stuff up. And we're missing a couple. Good job. I did well. Okay, which one was I working on? There we go. Originally, I did want to write all my own music for the YouTube videos. Like, I did have another YouTube channel a long time ago, which is probably still around, where I played and wrote music and did a couple of just random videos, a couple of motorcycle videos, Nerf gun mod video, a few videos of me and my kids riding dirt bikes. Stuff like that. But yeah, unfortunately, writing music, like, it is a relatively easy thing to do when you've got all your gear set up for it. I don't have that anymore. I went through a significant life change, not for the better. Like, so yeah, kinda. Well, I don't mind the music that I'm listening to, you know. You got a very nice wide range of music that you can choose. The thing that I kinda don't like is I can only use it on YouTube, which is fine. I don't mind that. But I would have, because I can do it, I kind of feel like I should have done it, but at the same time, I just want to start getting stuff out there, so start being a lot more productive with the video stuff. I mean, I will look at editing all of these streams down. There's a lot of dead time in this. Like, I just try to fill it by talking random stuff. Like, I did have a whole bunch of stories I've written that, from the engineer's point of view, I've been thinking about telling, but I've kind of been a bit too focused on the build itself and also running through a lot of the stuff. And the inspiration for that came from people that I've been playing with on the other server where they've just been struggling to start. Just to show that you can start right from the very start. It is relatively easy once you know what you're doing, but if you've got no idea where to start from, yeah, you're just gonna have a nightmare of a time with it. Like connecting all the conveyor tubes up and the initial base layout and all of that sort of stuff. Also having it so that you can detach the base and turn it into a ship, like I did with this particular build, is a much easier way to go about it, to get you started, like a good start in an online PvP environment. Now, is it the best way? Probably not, but it is the way that works well for me. Now we're running out of metal grids again, so we're gonna chuck a little bit of a heavier focus on getting the metal grids made up. We're only halfway done. We do have a couple more thrusters that we do need to place, but yeah, I think we're going to have to just give it a little bit of time to get them made up. So yeah, we'll just weld up what we can on this so far. Not... we got another one there that we need to do. I thought we'd finish this side. Oh, the rubble it can be, man. See, ADHD is not what people think it is. People think, oh yeah, your mind wanders around all over the place. Yes, it does, right? That is a fair call. But the other problem is you can get super intently focused on a particular task, so much so that the rest of the world disappears. In fact, there have been times where I have been stuck on a particular task for 3 days straight. No sleeping, no eating, just working at it. And then I start to feel a bit tired and a little hungry. Like I notice that I'm feeling hungry and it's like, holy shit, it's Wednesday. Now you can get a lot of stuff done, or you can be very productive, like when you're young and healthy and all that sort of stuff. I'm not that anymore, and we've still got some engines running. We missed a couple. We'll try cycling them on and off again. Actually, we'll just go into the K menu, select all of our thrusters, and we'll see what's queued and what's not. Large hydrogen thrusters, add them to it. Where's all the rest of our large hydrogen thrusters? Save. Ah, that's why. For some reason, it is not letting us turn them on or off. Did we put... Yeah, we did. We put landing gear, large cargo container in there. Okay, we'll save that now. Now we toggle blocks on and off. Oh, they snuck in there for some reason. That was these two pesky ones here. Okay. Now they're all off. Oh, you know what I did wrong? What a tool. We need to... Oh, that's irritating. Come out an extra one with that tank there. Okay, so all of these are coming off. And we're redoing all those tanks because I thought I was paying attention. I thought I took extra care there, but as it turns out, not so much. Okay, we're just going to place the tanks first. We are getting very, very efficient at repeating silly mistakes. Beginner mistakes. Okay. Tank. There we go. Welded up, and I did see a little bit of plate floating away up here. Did I manage to grab it? I saw something else too. Yep, there we go. Got more plate there, more plate there. It's probably not a huge amount, but anyway. So, what a dopey person I am being at the moment. We just add those on, and what we'll do is grind and weld, grind and weld, grind and weld. Okay, we've probably got a piece of plate floating about in here somewhere, preventing us from placing the other damn block. No, it was just, I was obstructing it with myself. Oh, there we go. Okay, past another one, I think. Holy crap. Okay, weld this stuff up. Alright, leaving that one on, those two on, this one here is coming off. So, chuck this one on first. There's a super inefficient way to do it. But, you know, I am only human. Okay, this one. And also, whoa, got more parts here. I've spent a lot of time on this in this particular day, even though there's been, I've done the previous two streams and this stream all back to back. I've kind of got in the groove of it, and it's the ADHD thing I was talking about before. I did really feel the need to take a break from it though, previously, because I was getting to the extreme frustration point. What I want to be able to do though is get into the editing side of things and try to get my head into that. So that way I can make up much shorter content with all the information all packed in, nice and tight, and really help a lot of people out with the game. It is so frustrating getting stuck on something and not being able to figure out how to do it, and yet other people just go and make it look super easy. And the thing that people, like, and I've done it as well, don't take into account is all the amount of times, or the amount of time that has been spent on this particular, well, this game for example, or when I was a professional musician. I spent, like, people would say, oh geez, you're really talented, and it's like, no, I'm not talented, I'm skilled. I spent a lot of time and effort acquiring this skill. I didn't just pick up the guitar one day and know how to play it. I put time and effort into doing it. Now this is a game, so it's not of the same sort of I wouldn't compare it to like learning a musical instrument per se, but yet it is still a skill. It's just a skill that is easily acquired because people enjoy playing the game. And I enjoyed playing guitar, so in a lot of ways it was like, yeah, you know, like I enjoyed playing guitar, I enjoyed playing bass, I enjoyed playing drums, writing music, all the rest of that sort of stuff. And that's how I kept my head in going through all the hard slog to practice to get to the level that I needed to be at to be able to play professionally. So yeah, there is no such thing as talent insofar as the application of a skill goes, in my personal opinion. And in a lot of ways, it denigrates and diminishes all of the hard work that has gone into acquiring the skill set for that particular task. Now, someone may be very skilled at playing the game, and you will end up with people trying to devalue the ability of the player there by saying, well, it is just a video game. And it's like, so what? You know, it doesn't mean that there's still not something to be appreciated there. It requires a certain amount of logical thought, skill, and a mental acuity as to how to put things together to play a game like this. And I'm not brilliant at it. I can definitely appreciate that there are a lot of people with a lot more skill at this game than me, and that comes purely from, well, some people do have an aptitude for it. They were raised with those sets of skills from a very early age. Like, I loved Lego when I was little. I even, when I had my own kids, loved playing with Lego with the kids and teaching them the same sort of thing. So, you know, they could learn how to put stuff together. I always worked on my own cars as often as I could, at least anyway, and eventually ended up working in engineering and all sorts of things like that as well. Not on a trade sort of level, but I did learn a lot just by taking a keen interest in what I was doing and trying to figure out a better way. That's what's good about this game from that sort of standpoint. It's like, I can't lift heavy things anymore. I'm too broken for that. My last job damn near killed me so many times and it's left me crippled. But at the same time, I still like the mental challenge of how to do all of this stuff. Okay, we are stuck on production. There's a lot of management involved in this game as well, which, you know, managing inventories, and when you're managing a faction or you're running a faction, there's a lot of diplomacy that's involved. So all of those skills I've acquired over the years of working with some people with some very sharp elbows, trying to not hurt feelings to get difficult things done. Some people are a lot more challenging than others when it comes to stuff like that. And yeah, like working for a particular government logistics section could have proved to have been one of the more challenging places for workplace diplomacy that I've been in, because the place is just full of snowflakes. Glad I'm not there anymore. I mean, trying to talk common sense into some people, and you know, you're doing a job where you risk your life every day to do that sort of thing. Like, I used to work there with my first wife, and you know, we had a great time working there, but the compromises we had to make as far as safety goes and the workload that we were understaffed, underpaid, and, you know, literally risking life and limb every day, to the point where, like, I said to my boss, look, if you keep pushing us like this, one day someone's going to get killed. The very next week, my wife was killed doing that job. So, you know, And even then, after all of that stuff, I still stayed there nearly a decade longer, putting up the same shit from the same stupid directives, from the same stupid managers, and just tolerating it. I argued with them all the time about it. I stood my ground, and yet, all rational arguments fell on deaf ears because, I wasn't their boss, they were mine. And yet, I have been in charge of people before. I've never had problems like that with other people, like subordinates, because I was always reasonable, I thought. Anyway, enough about ranting about the past and past stupidity and so on and so forth. This is supposed to be entertaining. Are you entertained? Leave a comment. Or don't. I'm not going to sit here and beg for likes and subscriptions and all the rest of that sort of business. If you do like it, do whatever you feel is appropriate. It'd be nice if I could get this up and turn it into a business, but I'm realistic about it at the same time. I can see that there is not... I've got a lot to compete with, and the standard here is not brilliant. I mean, all I'm doing is sitting here, playing a video game, making some stuff, trying to help some people out. I genuinely feel like that's all I really am doing. But yeah, if I could make an income off of this, that would be awesome. I mean, that is the dream. Like I said, I used to be a professional musician. I used to do a lot of things. That started out as a hobby and it turned into a career, sort of, for a little while. And it turned into a nightmare as well, when things get more serious in the music industry, especially where I'm from. It is a very cutthroat, tight-knit community. You can literally have death threats from a booking agent because you've gone through another booking agent, even though you don't have exclusivity to a particular agent. Yeah, I had threats against my life because I went and worked for someone else because we needed the money. We were on a really tight budget. We were getting stitched up real bad, with having to wait for 3 months to get paid and all sorts of other gnarly stuff like that. And we had PA bills to pay. We had the PA company asking us for the money that we owed them because we had an account with them. And we couldn't pay them because we hadn't been paid. And it just trickled down the line. And that was the same booking agent that threatened to slit my throat. And it's ridiculous. It's supposed to be a fun thing, and yet someone will go and... Yeah, that's why I'm overworking with psychopaths. Sociopaths, drug addicts, all the rest of that sort of business. I'm fine if you want to go and do drugs, just don't go and have your habit negatively, or even if it's recreational and you're not addicted, just don't have it affect other people in a negative way. Otherwise, go to town. It's your body, you do what you want. Just don't inflict it on other people. This particular booking agent had a little bit of a chemical problem, I suspect, because, there's a lot of chemical problems in this particular city in Australia. And at that time, it was a very popular recreational substance amongst musicians. I was not a partaker in that particular substance. It didn't really do anything for me. In fact, I ended up getting prescribed something very similar to try and slow me down. So if I was to try said recreational substance, it's going to slow me down and make me more like a normal person, which is kind of the opposite effect of what you want. You don't really want to go and take drugs to make you go faster and then go have a nap afterwards. But, you know, it has been a pretty wild ride. The Rockstar days, they were so much fun. Like, the horrible country shows we had to do a lot of driving through rural Western Australia. It was a real challenge. Like, we got paid very little, we drove a long way, it was a lot of hard work. Sometimes we would drive 400 Ks to play in front of 5 people. And the main reason why they wanted a band there was hopefully to try and improve the pub, or it was the busy season but the other pub had another band on who they'd actually spent some effort advertising. And one time we played at a very busy place in a particular town, but it turned over a lot of money mainly through the drive-through. The people would stop, they'd come in for 5 minutes and then pick up their stuff from the drive-through and then head on out. And yeah, we had 3 people on the dance floor that thought, yeah, we're having the time of our life. We were playing to those 4 people only, and we played as if we were playing in front of 1,000 people. But when we did get to play in front of thousands of people, like, that was a much better thing. Like, we played in front of something like 2,500 people at a large-ish venue in town, like in the city. Oh, that was an absolute ball. Like, the rush that you get from having the audience singing the songs you're playing so loud you cannot hear the PA, you can actually feel the words hit you in the chest. That is an adrenaline rush that, yeah, I'm going to cherish for a very long time. There's only a couple of things in my life that have ever been more of an intense moment than that. That'd be the birth of my kids, and maybe a couple of other things, but that is definitely one of the highlights, is that sensation. I'd love to go back to those days. I wish I could still play like that. I wish I could still jump around like an idiot like that. I wish I still had the energy for that. But, you know, everybody gets older, and unfortunately I got old a little bit too quick. Could have been a lot worse. I mean, at least I got some stories to tell, a lot of experiences from it all. Reminiscing about the good old days. Now I really sound like an old guy. I'm not really that old, realistically. But yeah, like, definitely significant life change over the last couple of years. Being crippled, not much fun at all. But, you know, gotta take it for what it is. Can't sit here moping about it. So yeah, let's start getting back into video editing and all the rest of that sort of stuff. Okay, I think we've got, oh no, we've still got one to go. I got a little excited there a little too soon. Like, I thought, yeah, we're done. We're finally done. And it turns out, no, not quite done. Okay, build planner. There we go. Starting to look like a proper spaceship again, rather than the mangled mess that was left behind after the tragic incident with the asteroid. Oh jeez, what a tragedy. But with any tragedy, there is the comedic side of things, just like any good theatre. And not only is tragedy necessary in any given story, but there is the overcoming of the tragedy, and I think we are just about to overcome the tragedy. Yes, we have power. We are back with all engines that we can be bothered with at the moment, being all on and functional. That's good. That's better than good news. That's great news. So yeah. So I should be feeling a little bit better about our progress now, even though not all of our engines are bound correctly, and we have a small engine floating about somewhere. Actually, no, it was those two industrial hydrogen engines that were thrown off the dealie before. So we'll just check our group. We have a bunch extras on here now to add to it, so we'll save that there like that, and we will turn them all on. And yes, we're moving, and we are moving in every direction, moving with proper assertion. Okay. So also what we want to do is our two backwards thrusters, we want to stick them on their own group and chuck them back where they were before. If I remember correctly, we had them called H2 back. So we're calling the same thing. Hopefully they'll put themselves back where they're supposed to go. There's no guarantees. So we'll select that one. Where's our other? Hey, we've got 3 backwards. Ah, that's our small one. We've got to go find that. So anyway, or maybe, do we have still? No, we don't. So H2 back. We got capital locked on. Save that. So 2, yes. Okay, and we'll leave that little one on as well. Actually, no, we won't. We're gonna lock it off because we don't especially need it. Like, it'll help a little bit with reverse thrust, but at the same time, we want to put some other things here. We wanted to put a couple of cargo containers in here. If I remember the plan rightly. And the other thing that we want to do with that is pipe them down to this cargo container, so we've got a backup. We don't have just one pipe connection, we've got 2. So yeah, a little bit of redundancy there. So let's chuck those in now. We need interior plate for those. So yeah, chuck on the interior plate. I didn't start a big clock. So what have we been in? We're about an hour and nearly an hour and 40 minutes in to try and get back to where we were before we annihilated ourselves. Alright, so we got 4 of those. No, we're not actually going to 3, 4, add them to the production queue. Yep. Let's put all that stuff back. And we'll clear up the production queue. And we'll do it one at a time, like a smarter person. Yep. Okay, can we reach that? Oh, it's not gonna let me. Oh, yep, it does. Okay, we can do it. Hey, look at that. You can middle mouse button when you've got the auto world on. I like it. Just found another shortcut. Now, I wouldn't have been the first person to do that, I suspect, but I have not seen it before. I'm happy than I was previously. So, can I do it again? I don't know if I can even reach it this time. But I like finding little shortcuts like that. So click on the welder. And oh yeah, that stacks easier. Because it automatically welds up and pulls the parts out. Oh, that's brilliant. Like, it's not the best thing in the world, but damn, that was not bad. And I put that one in the wrong spot. Oh, well, it's staying there for now. It will function where it is. We can even add to the build planner whilst we're doing all of this silliness. Except we don't have enough construction components. Okay, F. Production. Move those up. And move those up as well. Okay. Oh, come on. So close. Oh, we didn't get all of them on the build planner, that's why. Okay, try again. So, we got that on the build planner. Double click. And, that was awesome. Heaps quicker. Alright. Now we've probably got an extra container, or yeah, we got 2 extra containers on the build planner. But that's alright, we just get rid of them. Okay, now we've got ice somewhere over here. Yeah, there's our ice hole. Not really practical. There's... Okay, so we're gonna move across to the starboard side a little way and we're gonna attack it from there. We are gonna try and get some ice again. We're gonna try drilling again because we are a glutton for punishment after all. Except this time we're gonna try to not annihilate our drills. But we said that last time. I felt that I was being more careful. I still struggled and failed and whatnot, but... Okay, drills. Okay, steel plate. We have stacks of steel plate. That is good. Okay. We'll go 5 wide. Because, like I said, I am an optimist. Whoa. Lagging out a little bit. Now, given all of the tragedy that has happened in this stream so far, you'd think, well, why are you being so optimistic about it? And it's like, because you never know, you might be able to repeat the magic. Eventually you could succeed. Oops. I mean, you can't fail at everything all of the time. Well, you could. Gotta be realistic here. It's like, yeah, that literally can be the thing, especially if you're doing something competitive. Yes, you can fail over and over again. You may never succeed. But the thing is, you definitely will never succeed if you never even attempt it. So I'm at least attempting it, and I'm going to keep attempting it. I might fail every time. I'll probably fail a significant number of times, But there have been a lot of things I've been successful in where, you know, I probably shouldn't have been. Because there is no way that somebody who looks like me should have ever been a rock star, never should have been on telly or the radio or any of that sort of stuff. And yet, I did it. So, you know, let's try these epoxy drills again, because you never know, we might work this time. But if we do fail again, I think we might take off one of those refineries. We might be really pushing our luck with how long we've made it. But yeah, let's fire up the engines and we'll try to get a significant amount of ice out this time without killing the damn drills. Lights probably would have been a little bit of help, but didn't think about that until it already sat down in the cockpit. Okay, so let's extend the pistons. Helps if we press the correct key. The lights would have been very useful now. Now we can actually slow down at a decent rate, so we're not going to smash them off that way. We can inch forward rather than smash forwards. Well, bouncing still a little bit, which is not what I want to do. I want to go in nice and gently. Not destroy the damn drills again. Take it easy. 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 Got a lot of sparks here flying on this side. Alright, everybody out the windows. Get the reference. Everybody should get that reference. Back when that particular show was much better than it is now. Although I haven't seen many of the later episodes, to be honest. I really did lose interest in it. It just really, like, it got beyond repetitive. And it's unfortunate because the people that created it, I think that they're geniuses, because some of the other work that they've done is amazingly brilliant, and it's just does seem like that particular show has gotten a little bit stale and repetitive. I mean, it has been going for such an incredible amount of time. You know, you can't really say, oh, you know, it's their fault or anything. But how long can you expect someone to keep producing magic material like that? Maybe it's just evolved and I didn't. Who knows? And there goes the damn freaking drills again. Got caught and jammed up. Oh my god. Like, it's a good thing that this game doesn't have like a baseball bat in it, because I'd be over there belting the crap out of those right now until there was nothing left but a mangled mess of metal. Oh my god, what a freaking annoying. Oh, damn it. Add the piston head again. That should not have happened this time. I was being careful. Oh, so irritating. How can I make it stronger? Oh, what did I do that for? That was dumb too. Didn't switch my tool. Okay. Getting to the aggravated stage yet again. Repeating the same dumb mistakes. I'm just gonna chuck them all in here. Because why not? I recover them this time, not just delete them like last time. I can't put them back on until I get rid of them. Okay, actually thinking about it in retrospect, yep, we're taking off one of those refineries. We're taking the front back a little bit in the hopes that maybe that will prevent us from repeating the same mistake again. Because, yeah, maybe we're just being over ambitious with how long we are. So, bye-bye ore detector and camera and piston. And fourth refinery long. Maybe that's what the problem is. Who knows? Could be wrong, but we'll give it a shot. We'll try to give it its best chance for success. I really thought that we were gonna be okay if we just take it real easy, but I was going backwards that time for freak's sake. The hell, man. I reckon even if I had like mad reinforcing on it and all sorts of other business like that. Oh, what the heck. I don't want that stuff just floating around. I want that stuff to stay inside the ship. Okay, there we go. Now try chucking on another dang piston. That's not a piston. That's a piston. I see you've played drill pistons before. No. Yet another Simpsons reference. Spent way too much time watching TV as a kid, I think. But that being said, I spent a lot of time outside breaking bones too. I suppose when I was a kid, I used to spend time on the computer. And yes, we had the internet when I was a kid. Where it was a new thing back then. It wasn't common that teenage kids had the internet. Not like now, everybody's on the internet. Which, you know, it's got its pros and cons. I mean, there's a lot of really horrible things about the internet, like more to the point the effect it's had on people, like social media has really had a disastrous effect on a lot of people. Now, I don't lie to people, ever. Everything I've told you, unless I'm going to say it's a fictitious story, has actually happened. And I will tell some stories, but I don't ever lie. I talk things down because my real life has been crazy. It's unbelievable to me. And yeah, why lie about who you are? And yet, certain social media sites, they encourage it. It's almost like they bring it out in people, which is tragic because it's just making people feel worse about themselves. You don't have to live up to what anybody else is. Like, I've been told just about my entire life that I need to change what I'm doing because it's not socially acceptable, such as being a rock star and a full-time dad, as well as working in an engineering company, like being a shift supervisor there. It's like, oh, when are you going to quit doing the band, go and get a real job? And it's like, I do a real job as well. I sleep twice a week. I literally used to sleep twice a week back then. I'd sleep when I was able to sleep, not when I felt I slept when I felt I needed to. And later on, I ended up getting forced on the medication by a very abusive partner because she felt that it wasn't normal. And that was not my first wife. My first wife, she embraced who I was as far as that went. And did a lot of crazy stuff that came up with a lot of crazy ideas. I enjoyed myself back then. We didn't put the auto detector or the camera back on. And I still think the same way as what I did then. It's like, you know, this is a crazy idea. But that being said, other people have done this. So there's no good reason why I can't do this too. Like, I enjoy this game, I enjoy helping people out. What do we want? Steel plate. And yeah, I mean, that's the birth of the idea, is literally helping people out. I can talk, I can demonstrate, monkey see, monkey do works for me, and hopefully for you. I can even write very bad poetry. So I don't think I'm gonna end up with a book written about my turns of phrases. Although I did think about writing a book telling the story of some of the circumstances surrounding my life and the tragic nature of it. Just because, yeah, you can't make some of this stuff up. It's crazy. And my life is not the only example of stories that I know of things that are crazy. Like some of the craziest or most absurd things that you hear about happening, they're based on real events, which I think is insane in itself. It's like the Darwin Awards, for example, and the Stellar Awards at that matter too. The Stellar Awards are legal cases that have, you know, just been complete absurd stupidities where the plaintiff has won. Where the person that did something stupid or wrong or whatever. Like, I remember a story about a guy who, like, there was a family, lived in a nice house in a very good suburb. I'm pretty sure this was in the United States where a lot of this craziness happens. I could be wrong. This could be just purely anecdotal or made up. But anyway, I'll tell the story anyway. This guy went on a holiday, or this guy and his family went on a holiday, right? And some nefarious types decided to relieve them of some of their personal assets, a particular thief. And so he goes and breaks into the house. Now, he breaks into the house, or one of them, there's two separate stories actually. One person breaks into the house through the roof by lifting roof tiles up, climbing down, falls through the ceiling, breaks both his legs, landing on the ground, and then sued the homeowner for personal injury damages. Like, he got charged for breaking and entering and all that, but then won his civil case against the homeowner because he broke his legs falling through the ceiling of this guy's house. Now, that to me is absurd. It's like, you shouldn't have been on the property in the first place. And yet, it was reported that the magistrate or judge or whatever the hell it was ruled in favor of this criminal. Now, I don't know what sort of situation that sounds like it is fair to me, because I really don't think it is. But yeah, The other story is also a B&E story where the criminal breaks into the house. We need to readjust that piston. Actually, we need to put the piston on the toolbar. Yeah, the criminal breaks into the house, and he's going through the house. This is the house with the family that's on holidays. Similar circumstances, but yeah. And as he's going through, he finds the keys on the bench for the car, and he's like, oh, I think I might go check that out. Goes into the carport, and yeah, the door locks behind him, and it is only unlockable from the other side without the appropriate key, which he did not have on him at the time. He only had the car keys. And so as a result, yeah, he was locked in the carport for 2 weeks. And there was only dog food in there, and there was some water. There was like some food, dog food and stuff like that in the car, like in the garage there. So yeah, he sued the homeowner for wrongful imprisonment and deprivation of liberty, like because he felt that it was unsafe that he could be locked inside someone's carport like that. And the magistrate or judge or whoever it was ruled in his favour there as well. Now, that is also stupid. Why should someone get a payout because they fucked up trying to fuck somebody over? Pardon the language, but I think that is reasonable. If you're a criminal and you get caught in a bad situation like that doing something stupid, I think you deserve what's coming to you, which is if you get trapped in someone's house. When the family got home, the guy was still there. And, you know, big pile of crap in the corner. And, yeah, the police subsequently get called. The guy gets arrested and charged. And it's like, well, you're an idiot in so many different ways. Now, I'm not the world's biggest fan of law enforcement. I don't think that all law enforcement officers have the right attitude about the job. I think it should be more about serving the community and all the rest of that sort of stuff, not enforcing policies put in place by people in Parliament or whatever that, as far as they're concerned, they own you. Like, we have had some ridiculous laws and circumstances come about in my country. Serious deprivations of various liberties and absurdities that have been going on, all by people who think they know better. You know, act like your parents. It's like, I've got parents and I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions for my own life. I don't need you to tell me what to do. Like, I'm a punk through and through. I will be until the day that I die, and I'm not going to apologise for that. Yeah, I really don't need someone with a perception of authority over me that thinks that they know they can tell me what to do when what I'm doing doesn't affect anybody else one iota. If it only affects me, what business is it of yours? And like, I feel the same way about people's gender, people's whatever the way that they're feeling about themselves. You can feel whatever you want about yourself. Just don't expect me to feel the same way, because I'm going through my own stuff. I don't expect any sympathy from anyone else. I don't want sympathy. I just want you to know that I'm going through my own personal human experience, and I'll understand that you're going through your own personal human experience. And I think that is a more than fair and reasonable thing to expect. And yeah, we may misunderstand each other from time to time. That's fair and reasonable too. Language is a difficult thing at the best of times, and especially considering that our language keeps on getting changed. once upon a time, a particular word may have meant one thing, and now it means another thing. And now, if you use that particular word in the wrong context, all hell breaks loose. And realistically, why don't we look at what the underlying meaning or intention behind the words that were said were, rather than what they mean according to your interpretation. You, as a listener, have a certain responsibility to make sure that you've understood the intention and meaning behind the word properly. Now, I'm not trying to rip into you or tell you what to think or feel, but by the same token, if you are offended by anything that I have to say, that's on you. You are entitled to take as much offense as you like at anything I have to say. But at the same time, I'm not trying to upset anybody. That's not my intention. But yeah, I'm just going on a rambling rant. An old person's, I remember the good old days back in my time, things were a lot different. You kids can get off my lawn. Back when you're allowed to have a lawn before the water restrictions. The craziness. Anyway, weird tangent I just got on. It's completely irrelevant to this game. But, sometimes it's fun to just go on a roll with an idea and see where it takes you. Because we have been repeating the same thing over and over again, and we're not breaking drills anymore. I think it was that fourth freaking refinery. I think I just got over ambitious with that. But now we're cooking. We are back to functional at the moment. I'm not going to get too cocky, because I know that as soon as I do and I start trying to swing it around a little bit too quick, I'm going to annihilate something and we're going to end up having to do repairs again. I'm going to try and take it a little bit easier, because ultimately, we do want to get to, we did say Titan, and I still wouldn't mind trying to get there. In fact, let's do the Grand Tour. Le Grand Tour. We'll go to every planet, check them all out. We'll make landfall on every planet, because I don't think I've done that in an online server. And I think that that's an achievement we can actually unlock. One of my faction mates over on the other server, he managed to get that one by landing on every planet. So I think that's something that we'll work towards. And I think we are parked up. Yes, we are. Our landing gear got locked. We still have that attached. But anyway, now we have a look at our mass now. It's a far cry from our almost 10 million kilos that we had going on before. We're at half that, but we are filling up a lot of ice into our ship. I think, we've still got a fair bit of time before we have to end the stream. Or more to the point, I'm choosing to cut the stream off. I don't want to go over 4 hours. Just because I don't want to have the stream chopped up. I just want to try and keep it all as one live stream. Okay, that landing gear is going to get irritating. I'm going to chop it off. It served its purpose. I didn't float away in the night whilst I was having a think about what I had done. But no longer crucial or necessary, I don't think. Anyway, we'll keep digging at the ice for a bit. We've got a lot of cargo space to fill. We're going to go back and pick up some iron and ice from where we previously were. Iron and gold. I'm pretty sure we made a decent bookmark for that. How far away is that? Space Gold's... it's 129 k's back the other way. We did get some... Do we want to keep plugging forwards? Yeah, I think we'll just keep plugging forwards. We can always jump back. Or should we? Yeah. I don't want to have to go backwards. How far have we come? We have gone quite a way. See, we are covering a decent amount of ground, so we may even be able to fly back on hydrogen. But, you know, even though that's not the preference, we may still get to the moon. If we do get to the moon, I know that we can find platinum and gold there. It's still not ideal, but I reckon we're gonna just come across some more eventually. Although, no, that's right, this was the crash landing spot. So, yeah. We'll get a couple of megatons of ice. We'll get that all loaded in. Drilled out, loaded up. We've got 1 full container, 2 full containers. So we've got at least 2 megatons, which is still going to be nowhere near enough, but it's going to make a substantial difference. So we'll just keep on digging it out. We'll get on to coasting along to the next pile of space rocks, and we'll go prospecting for some more gold and platinum so we can actually start working on building a jump drive, which we probably would have been a hell of a lot closer to building the jump drive if we had have been paying attention to what we were doing. But no, I had to get all super focused on trying to rearrange those bloody engines. But lesson learnt. Well, it should have been learnt the last time I did something dumb, but the struggle is very evident. Well, we got out of it. We survived. Hey, like, you know, got to give me that. You know, we had more than... We probably had about 60% of the ship just get obliterated. Alright, I think we'll call that as being good enough for the time being. Let's exit out of the camera there, and we'll back our ship out. Make sure that we don't knock those damn drills off again. And we will we'll have a quick look at these rocks here, see if there's anything notable on them, like if we got some iron or silver or anything other than ice. Like, not saying ice is bad, no, not by any stretch of the imagination. However, we've got that now. We want to get some more diversity in our ores. Now, the other thing that we'll do when we make sure that we're not going to run into something, we're starting to get a bit sluggish in the turns. So what we can do is go over to our gyroscopes and juice them back up. And yep, we've got good movement now. Yeah, and we can also, we're doing good. Nice. Okay, get out of that view. That looks like a smiley face. Okay, we'll swing over here. try to not hit anything because depth perception is not very good. Feels like we're a lot closer than we are. That's not ideal. We are moving a lot. Whoa! Death stones there. I think we'd keep a decent distance, but look for any colourful spots. Because yeah, we could do with some more of everything. Let's have a look. Have a look in the zoom. We're burning a lot of fuel. But that being said, we've got a lot more hydrogen tanks now. So, you know, been over it a few times now. Okay. Bertram is getting smaller once again. Let's check this rock out. We'll use our camera, see if we can see anything. And it's looking like a big noob. But, you know, we're up there away from it. What about over there? How's that one looking? And nothing interesting at a glance. What about here? Can't tell. It's way too far away. That one there. Or could be something. Let's have a look. We'll jet on over there. Yeah. Coast on over. Have a good look. Jaunty Offspray. And yet I don't see the name there. Hey, we've got a fair few people on now. We've got a couple of faction members as well. Nice. I wonder if they're friendly. I don't really feel like doing the chat to people in game whilst I'm on the stream at the moment. Like, I'm happy to chat with anybody that might be watching. I don't know if anybody is watching. But yeah, if you are watching, and cool. I hope you're enjoying. I got a like on the last video. Ah, awesome. Thank you to whoever liked it. It's did I label this the wrong number, this particular stream? Because the last episode, oh no, episode 7 is currently live. I thought I was up to 8. I don't know. Start to lose track of it because I have banged all of these out very quickly. Anyway, back to paying attention to where I'm flying because I don't want to end up nuking myself again. We were going to have a look at this rock here and see if there's anything worth digging for on it. We want platinum, we want gold again, actually we want everything, because we basically threw it all away. Ah, the tragedy. And also, I can't tell how wide I am, and I am very wide. Okay, stay away from those rocks. Okay. We'll kind of give it the old flip and burn. Have a look at the other side, see if there's anything worth checking out. There is a little bit of a dark spot over there. Let's have a good look at it. Yeah, no, it's really, really hard to tell whether or not that's anything. I don't think it is. And also, having the ship all spread out big like this, need more O2. Didn't I have an O2 bottle? Or is it? Yeah, it's empty. Well done. Let's refill that O2 bottle. So, put that one into, let's see, oxygen tank, chuck it in there. Hello? Okay, control panel. Where is the oxygen tank? Here. Auto refill bottles, inventory. There we go. Now we're cooking with a better gas. Or we're breathing with gas. Nice. Alright. So, is this rock a bust? Looking like, yeah, probably. Now, I'm thinking with the body of the engine, the body of the ship, I will wrap the steel armor up and around and all the rest of that, rebuild some of the stuff that we knocked off. And we'll extend all the way out forward and come up a little bit as well. Like, we do probably want to add another 3 refineries in there. So that way we're running 6, and ideally we want to put all the yield modules in there, so that'll be the goal. We do have some gold processed. I don't know if we're going to have enough to do too much with it, but I'm pretty sure that we could make all the yield modules that we want with it. Now, we don't want to head back that way, we want to head away from Bertram. Because, yeah, we want to try and make some positive progress. Is this the planet we want to head towards? Yes, yes it is. Okay, let's go that way. So, in fact, we'll head to this rock here. This very stark, lonely looking, bleak rock off in the distance. I wonder if we are the same distance from the alien world as we are from Earth. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. But anyway, we're going to this rock first. So maybe there's something notable there. Okay, the other thing that we'll do is we'll go out of our camera view in a moment, and we'll have a look at chucking. What do we want? We want 12 yield modules. Let's see if we can manufacture all the parts we need for the 12 yield modules. We'll just go through the production menu for that. Safe guesswork sort of thing. If we can't manufacture everything we need for that, like we don't have enough raw materials, like enough gold, or if we need platinum, then obviously we're not going to bother. Or we may attempt to make up the parts, and hopefully we'll stumble across, using dumb luck, to find more gold and platinum. But yeah, we may as well get the yield modules up now. Speed's one thing, which is good. The yield modules better. So, want to go out of that, we go into the K menu and production. We go to blueprints, type in yield, or at least start to. And yep, we need 13 gold per, and we want 12 of these things. So if we go to 20 of them, the 200 semiconductors, we have more than enough to make that. We have got 1,000 kilos of gold at least. Pretty sure we had a little bit more than that just sitting there, so we'll just chuck them at the front of the production list. So that's good news for us. The other thing that we might do, since I reckon we can pull that off, I think we need 2,000 semiconductors for a jump drive. But we're going to have to make a gravity generator first to unlock the jump drive. So, actually, I think that rock there is closer. Let's check that one out. I'm pretty sure we're going to need platinum for some of those parts. There's the gravity components. I think they require platinum. We can perhaps look at that. If we go into our production menu again, see they come out quite slowly. So the reactor components we need silver for, and gravel. Gravel we have no trouble getting everywhere, which we have gotten rid of our waste dump. So we will want to put that back on at some stage. Not at this stage. We need cobalt, iron, silver and gold for the gravity components. So we don't need platinum. We need that for thrust components. And also mad tools. So we might be able to get away with just the gold. So maybe it's worth going back for it. If we can build a reactor. But we don't have any uranium. Let's keep plugging forwards. Never know what we're going to stumble across. Hopefully we're not going to stumble into. Let's bump up the speed a little bit. We are increasing our fuel reserve, even though we are at a measly 4%. We are not at 0. And we do have plenty of ice at the moment, so. So if anything, I've demonstrated that you can have a catastrophic disaster and recover from it relatively quickly if you haven't lost too much of your stuff. Even though we did lose a sizable amount of ores, it could have been a lot worse than it was. So this game really isn't that hard. It is a slow game, but there is a lot to be said for taking the time to do some things, and it's only as slow as it is because of the way that I've been going about it. Hey, that looks like it could be nickel and potentially silver or platinum there. So I think this was a good call. Jack the speed up a little bit. We'll get over and we'll have a good look. It's definitely feel the mood improvement in myself now that we can get moving again. I don't like being stagnant. And I mean, the biggest pain to me was we'd made so much headway, we were moving and we had a lot of stuff. all ready to go. And there was a lot of preparations, all felt really thought out, and then boom. That was just tragic. I'm gonna be feeling that for a long time, I suspect. But yeah, it's overcoming hurdles like this make things a little more interesting and somewhat unnecessarily interesting, but you know, educational as far as learning the game goes. And I think that I can't tell whether that's nickel or gold. We may have just stumbled across another big chunk of gold, and that looks like something. No, it looks like it's all gold. That's possibly something. But anyway, we're going to go for this. We'll take a good chunk of it out. May even grab both and cruise on to the next one. We'll mark it up, put a GPS out so we can always, when we've got a jump drive going, we can always come back. We are going to need a lot of gold. We can get the jump drive going with just hydrogen engines, so is it nickel? Is it gold? It looks like gold. Okay, we will put out our pistons. Now it's nickel. I was mistaken. Well, you know, I sort of hedged bets both ways and went the wrong way right at the last minute, but we'll grab it anyway. It's still a much more efficient way to go than to be mining stone. And try to avoid the drill struggle that we had before. We're going to take it easy. Want to just plunge in, grab what we can, back it out, move a bit, plunge in again. Don't want to have to do pointless welding, and pointless because it works right now. Let's just keep it working. Just crawling in, and we'll back it out now. We'll back out a bit slower so we don't freaking rip the damn things off again. Going backwards like an idiot. And in we go. There we go. And it's starting to get a bit bouncy. I don't think that will take a hell of a lot. Like we'll make a couple more passes at it. Then we will scout around this rock and see if there's any other ores, like any different ones, because we want to have a range of different ones. Because yeah, we want to restock on everything, so get a good supply of all the different ores. Get back to where we were before the incident. Catastrophic failure of attention. And I think we might be getting close to being full, because we don't seem to be munching it down as much and gaining the mass. Could be wrong. Maybe we're just taking a thinner skim of it. Try again. Go for a little bit more up. That looks a bit more like it. That's a much bigger mouthful. Nice. Because, yeah, we don't have to be super economical with trying to get every last little bit of the nickel per se. We don't use a hell of a lot of nickel. So, yeah, we can be a little bit more discriminating against that as far as, yeah, it's not super necessary. Like, it is necessary, don't get me wrong, but it is not critical. Everything is necessary. Though something that we haven't come across yet, which would have been handy, is magnesium. We would have lost it, no doubt, but yeah, it would have been nice if we had a bit of that so we can adequately prepare ourselves for dealing with hostilities that could potentially come about. But, you know, it is what it is. To take what you can get when you can get it. Okay, let's go to that rock right there. So, kill our forwards or backwards. And yeah, we'll just jet on over to this one. You don't need to go super fast, like it's not light years away, it's probably only a few k's away, and we will conserve fuel by not cranking the speed right up. The wait is a little tedious, but you know, have to deal with losing all of that hydrogen that we had saved up, all of that ice that we had stored. Actually, we'll have a quick look, see how the ice store is going. So we want to make sure that we don't run out, even though we do feel like we have a lot. We could very easily end up with, we still got stacks. We got nearly 3 containers full. In fact, most of our containers are full of stuff. We might need to add a couple more in, so we'll just... Okay, that one there has got a little bit of room. That one's full. We've got one empty. That one's full. That one's a bit over half full. That one's full. 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 And full. So yeah, we've got a large container that's empty. One. So yeah, this has been a good recovery episode. A good recovery stream from the tragedy. No, I'm not talking it up. It was tragic to me. It was a disaster. I mean, it's not the world's worst disaster, it was just a very personal disaster. Everybody has a different definition of what they would consider to be a crisis. That was a crisis moment. At least in this context. I've had far worse, being realistic. But, you know, still we had something to aspire to get over. And we did. Made some improvements, learned some lessons, got to know the ship a little better. I think the thing that was more of an obstacle to overcome was drills kept breaking. God, that was going to send me spare. Okay, let's have a look. There's a couple of interesting color spots there. That does not look like nickel. That looks like that could be silicon or potentially silver. And there was some iron there as well, so we're gonna dig that out for sure. And actually the silicon we'll dig out as well. We do have a good amount of silicon on board at the moment, refined, but still would be worth grabbing anyway, just to have some extra silicon ore handy there. But yeah, definitely want the iron. So yeah, we're gonna go retro rockets. Slow down. It'd be really nice if that was platinum, but actually that could be platinum. Because then we got mad tools. In theory, we could potentially chuck some ion thrusters on as well, so that way if we do run out of hydrogen, we are not dead in the water. That would be nice. But we're not going to be pushing very fast with small ones. We need to put some big ones on, and they are heavy. And also they really chew the power up something wicked. Anyway, let's dive in. We'll have a look. Not too fast. What have we got? Something good. Please. Yes, we have platinum. So yeah, first thing we're going to do with this platinum, well, maybe the first thing, but we are definitely going to upgrade our tools. Our hand tools. Then we have all elite tools. Elite. It takes me back to my high school, old school hacker days. Back when the entire internet was the dark web. That's the thing I think is most absurd. Before Google came along, using the internet prior to Google, everything was literally like what the deep web is. You had to know where you wanted to look. There were some search engines, but nothing like Google. And the thing I liked most about Google as a search engine was there was no ads on it. And originally Google it had no ads. It was just a search box and that was it. Everything else, it was like, when you were using a dial-up internet account, which is all we had with a very slow modem, and you had to load up image after image after image, and compression was nothing like what it is now. You spent ages downloading a page. Or even then, what was better in a lot of ways as far as speed goes, because the internet was really fast, even with dial-up, but you were looking at a web page in monochrome, as text on a black and white screen. IRC was the way we chatted to people from other countries and stuff. And that was also done through a Unix shell. Like, that was the first internet that I used, was all Unix. Not Linux. All Unix. Then I stayed off the internet for several years. I decided, no, I'm going to be a rock star. Like, originally, what I wanted to do when I was in high school was I wanted to work with computers. Then I did that for work experience, and I thought, I hate this. I was sitting there cataloging shareware software at a computer store, and I was sitting there trying not to fall asleep. And I was a hyperactive kid, and it was putting me to sleep. Trying to sit there in a chair, copy, paste descriptions and all. And those guys, they were nice guys, and I really appreciate the, working there and stuff like that. But just sitting there in front of a computer, copying discs, like floppy discs, and with an automatic disc copier and all this other stuff. Put the disc in, disc comes out, label goes on. Oh, painful. It's like, it was nothing like what I used to do with manipulating software and reverse engineering, like games and shit like that, finding ways around certain parts of the game and stuff like that. I enjoyed tinkering with code and all that sort of stuff when I was a teenager. Like going through binaries and stuff like that to see how it worked, like that. I used to thoroughly enjoy it. And then, it got killed for me by doing work experience, and this is what life working with computers is like. I was like, but I wanted to build stuff. I got to build a computer when I was there. I got to build one. Now, I had built several computers by the time I went and did work experience, and this was in the mid-90s. So, when I was in the mid-90s, my dad picked up a whole bunch of old computers at an auction one time, and I pulled them all apart and took the parts that didn't work out, made a few computers out of all those parts, and learned a lot. That's how I learned stuff, is I pull things apart, put them back together. I still do things the same way now. I did the same thing with cars, motorbikes, musical instruments. Still work on computers. Don't get paid anything like what I probably could if I was to actually apply myself, but also don't have that magic piece of paper from some fancy institution that says I know what I'm doing. I just know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing because I've been doing it for 25 or more years. I've been programming ever since I could read. I learned how to read. A couple of years later, I learned how to program. And I'm not a great coder by any stretch of the imagination, but I know how to write a logic program. I understand the logic of it. And I can code, but I have to go and go over the language every time, because I always get syntax wrong, or something contextually wrong, or there's some function I've missed out or overlooked, or there's a tiny part of it that's just gone to shit because I'm just not anywhere near OCD enough with how I go about those sorts of things. And maybe if I had had a better start with, being properly diagnosed with ADHD, maybe I could have sat there at uni and finished off a degree. But that being said, by the same token, I would not have done all the crazy adventurous stuff I've done in my life. But, you know, also by the same token, maybe a lot of the tragic stuff wouldn't have happened either. But, you know, can't take it back, can't change it. All we can really do is just accept it and try to recover, try to rebuild, try to start something new. That's what this is, something new, something fun, something contributing to something that I thoroughly enjoy doing, which is playing Space Engineers. Okay, how much platinum did we score out of that? Bugger all there. Good chunk there, nice bit there, stacks there. Are we full? No, we're still not full, so let's go and grab some of that iron. Could have done with put the lights back on, but it's not the end of the world. Now, where was that iron? We are definitely in a much better situation than we were. Thinking about it, let's GPS that platinum there, because we may want to come back with some more when we have jump drives going again. So what do we want? We want, no, not the chat menu, we want the K menu, new from clipboard, space platinum. Nice, okay. There was iron here somewhere. Can we see it? No. Got a few deposits of platinum. Oh, there it is. Nice. Let's go and grab some of that nice iron. Stock up. Okay, we go back into our camera. Position ourselves in a nice perpendicular angle to it. Try to clear all the I'm gonna knock your engine off rocks. And we'll go in and grab some of this. We're gonna wanna pick up some cobalt again. Like, we do have a bit still probably on the ship, but it's always better to have more than less. But I think we've made a pretty good recovery for this particular stream. I think gonna end it in a little while. We'll go on the hunt for some other materials and keep plugging away at get back to the Earth, or heading towards the Earth-like world. Try and progress through in that direction, and we'll visit the moon, land on the moon, walk around on the moon, so that way, yeah, we can count that as a footfall. We'll do the same thing on the Earth-like world whilst we're over there, and yeah, we'll hit up Mars next, maybe, whichever one's closer. I think Mars is only a couple of thousand kilometers away, but yeah, hopefully we'll have jump drives by then, so we can go and zip over there quite quickly. Don't have to do any of this slow crawl over there like what we're currently doing with no jump drives. But bear in mind, we spent the majority of the time repairing the damage that we did from the inattention of crashing into a big rock. If we hadn't have done that, yeah, we would be in a far better situation. the other thing that we want to do is chuck elite tools onto our production. Definitely going to be a must do, because we're gonna start making our spaceship look like a proper spaceship. We're actually gonna do that, provided obviously we don't have something very dopey happen, like we go on and yeet it straight to another space rock. But you know, there's no guarantees, but obviously that's always going to be a plan. Star Trek's prime directive is not to interfere with the development of a particular culture on our world. My prime directive is going to be, don't yeet into the giant space rock like a freaking noob. You freaking moron. And it's going to be worded like that as well. Do not yeet into giant space rock like noob. But, you know, I seem to be in the perpetual noob state of gameplay. No matter how long I play a game, I always end up maintaining the noob status by doing something completely absurd. I mean, I didn't make the game, so I don't know it that well. I probably wouldn't want to play it if I did make the game, because where would the challenge in that be? I have set up servers before and made what do you call them? Multi-user dungeons back in the good old text days. And yeah, I thought, oh, this would be fun. Turns out, no, it's really not that much fun, because you're making up a puzzle for yourself. It's like, where's the fun in that? And no, I don't know. It's not much point if you know what the answer is. And that's what I appreciate about one of the things I appreciate about the modder community in this particular game is the amount of content that has been generated by users of the game. They don't get monetary compensation for it that I'm aware of. Like, they don't get paid to contribute to the game. They just do it for the love of the game. And I think that is an amazing thing, that, you know, people would go out of their time to provide their skills to go and improve on an already quite a quality product, but just to add more to the game. Like, one of my all-time favorite games is Grand Theft Auto, and one of the things that I really appreciate about Grand Theft Auto 5 is the amount of content that they did add to the online game, or GTA 5 online. When I was playing that, there was always a new mission. I mean, did feel fairly repetitive, but at the same time, you know, there was stacks of new features coming out like quite frequently. This was back in the PlayStation 3 days and stuff like that, when, you know, I was playing it. I did play it on PC as well. And, you know, I did go back through and start playing Grand Theft Auto 5 again, but I just didn't get back into the online stuff. The thing that really killed it for me on PC was, people started hacking the game. I don't really have much appreciation for people that hack the game. I like playing with a fair set of rules all around. And also, the people that I used to play with back then don't really play the game anymore. They're really just not into it, and it kind of killed it for me as well. Used to like playing with my friends like that online. But, you know, times change. Some people move on. And, yeah, It is what it is. We'll just check and see what our inventory looks like. Got a good amount of iron there. Got a bit there, a bit there. We're gonna have dribs and drabs through the whole lot, I think, because we've filled up the drills. So we are chock-a-block full of everything at the moment. So I think on that note, we might call it a day. Done a pretty good recovery to our ship. Like, yeah, we're a far cry from where we were. Like, still, like, and the main thing that we're still lacking in is a little bit of various different ores. Like, we don't have stacks of gold anymore. Probably should have chucked on those yield modules before pulling the pin for the day, but at the same time, been at this for quite some time now. Like, this has been a very long time straight going at it, just because kind of got focused on it. Wow, it is getting really on in the day, so I think, we'll let our ship come to a stop, kill the engines, and so let's have a quick look at what we want to achieve next. We'll try and put a body on around all the parts. Take that thruster off, we don't need that anymore, that little one. We'll try to close this up a bit, add a little bit of protection to make it look more spaceship looking like, kind of, rather than long sticks all stuck together with chewing gum and tissue. And also we will look at building probably stick it on top here, using the interior plate and all the rest of that sort of stuff, and make like a bridge kind of set up here somewhere. I think this would be a good place for it. Command deck or something of the sort. So we'll have our engineering section down here where all our engines are. Are they actually going? No, they're not going. What's going on with that? Oh, that's odd. Okay. Let's check our hydrogen engines. Okay, that's probably because one of our hydrogen tanks is on stockpile. I don't know, but anyway. That's not good. Okay, this needs to be sorted out. Whatever the problem is. Oh, why am I stuck? Okay. What's broken? Is that broken? Nope. That's fine. That one's fine. We just have no fuel in them. Did we disconnect our fuel tanks? Or is that cargo container that's connecting them broken? Nope, that one's fine. What about the other one? Nope, that one's fine. We've got ice in all of those. They all look like they're working. I have got absolutely no idea why that's not working. That is concerning, to say the least. Jump back in our seat. Hydrogen tanks. Okay, hydrogen engines. Okay, they're all on. Why are we not putting fuel in them? Now that one's connected as well. Okay, I'll try put another one in. Connect it up to this tank here. And that one there, so... Oh, fuck, I'm dead. Alright. There. Okay. Stick it in there like that. That'll definitely connect it all up to relevant conveyor ports and whatnot. Okay, that one's running. And that one jump started all the other ones. So what I think happened is whatever was here got annihilated in the crash, and all of these just ran out of hydrogen, and we didn't actually have a direct fuel connection. That was our problem, which is no longer a problem because we used that one to bridge them all back together. Okay, crisis averted. We can now rest easy. Ah, that's right. We wanted to put some tools on. So, production. Good tools. Where are we? Platinum tools, platinum tools, platinum tools. Make me good tools. And of course, no doubt, our assembler is probably full of something useless. No. Oh, looks reasonable. Maybe it's just because everything else. No, there's enough space there. Don't need this stuff. That stuff. We're full. Alright. Anyway. Okay, so we'll sort out the tool thing later. We need yield modules all the way along there. So we need a bunch of those. Hopefully we've made up the parts for it. We'll chuck on a bunch more refineries. We'll chuck on 3 more and yield modules on them too. Also, what else we'll do next time other than all the cosmetic re-adding of all the blocks down here, but we destroyed a good chunk of them there. You get rid of all of these things, these extra blocks up here, the scaffolding that we had in, the walkways and all the remnants of that. All this side got annihilated away, so we'll get rid of that extra thruster. And also up the back here, we'll probably add on a couple of assemblers. We'll stick them in slave mode. Like so, yeah, we'll have our primary assembler there. We'll stick a couple more on the back here, maybe 3 or 4. Actually, probably 2, because that will keep it in line with the back of the engine. I mean, the back of the ship here. We also want to put a docking camera on, even though we're not going to be docking anytime soon. But yeah, that's on a way later to-do list. But yeah, the assemblers, the good thing about having them at the back here will be that if we do have a disaster like we did last time, we don't have to rely on this basic shit. We will have it a little bit further away from the front and isolated, so that way we've got a little bit of redundancy, because that really, those 2 things that the first 2 industrial blocks that we put there, as well as that cargo container that's in the middle of all of that, provided that that's not damaged, we can't even tell. But yeah, that saved us really, because we could make enough parts to fix our container that had all our spare parts in, that we could put our refinery back together. Not our refinery, our survival kit. And yeah, we just lucked out with that. So anyway, that's sort of going to be the plan for next time. Try to make it look like a proper spaceship, not just a collection of parts all stuck together, which is what it is at the moment, especially after the annihilation. But, and yeah, we'll also perhaps work on putting a bridge on there. So yeah, thanks for joining me. If you have watched this later on, I don't think anybody watched me live this time, but that's all well and good. I went on a little bit of a tangent rant and talked about all kinds of random things. But yeah, either way, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found something in it, and I'll see you next time.